Despite what you see at basically every keynote of every flagship smartphone out there, I think that there are only 3 smartphones in the world right now that are truly a game-changing smartphone, like a truly innovative device that actually tries to change the way we use and we think about these devices that we carry around every day. One of them is Xiaomi's brand new Mi Mix Alpha. That thing is ridiculous. It has a display that curves from the front all the way to the back, which is absolutely nuts. I love it and I can't wait to get my hands on it. The second one is the Huawei Mate X. That is a folding smartphone that folds outwards. I got to spend a hot minute with it in Barcelona and I'm still thinking about it even to this day. And the third one is this phone. The Samsung Galaxy Fold. The first folding smartphone from a major manufacturer that we saw launch earlier this year. Now, the Samsung Galaxy Fold is a hard smartphone to get your hands on. Number one, it's sold out everywhere. Like all the pre-orders, they're gone. Singapore, gone. People in Korea are actually paying double the price, the retail price of this smartphone just to be among the first to get their hands on it. But luckily for us, we have Mobile to Go, and they've actually, let us get an exclusive hands-on with this smartphone. So thank you so much, Mobile to Go, for letting us check this smartphone out early. If you want to pick one up for yourself, they actually have devices. You can head on over to mobile2go.com and pick yours out there. Anyway, back to the smartphone. So the Galaxy Fold for me is one of those devices that proved 2 things. Number one, that there is still space for innovation in the smartphone era, despite the fact that most flagships coming out today are basically the same phone with a different badge and maybe a slightly different spec sheet. Number 2, it proved that people or companies can keep a secret. We didn't hear anything about this smartphone until it actually launched, and that to me, it means that it's a pretty special device. But this smartphone hasn't had the easiest of times. It was a rough journey. When it first came out, Samsung had this huge thing where they worked with a whole bunch of YouTubers, tech sites, they sent them all devices early, and then one shot everything released, everyone started using the smartphone. But the problem was, it started breaking. Dust particles were getting into the phone when they really shouldn't have, and also people was peeling off the top layer of the display thinking that was a screen protector when it actually wasn't. This forced Samsung to recall most of their units, and it was like a really rough time. They had to delay it, and it was a whole thing. But now, it's October and this smartphone is finally out. People can actually buy it. This is the retail box. This is what it looks like. And I just can't wait to check it out. So let's go, let's get into this. So from the initial media boxes, this is a lot more basic box. But it's not necessarily a bad box just yet. It still looks cool. It still have the Galaxy Fold graphic. So there's a bottom half that goes in. This is the main box. It looks like there are 2 different layers. I'm guessing that's the phone, so we'll take a look at that a bit later. Ooh. Oh, this is like an instructions kit to teach you how to put on this pretty slick looking case. So the case is actually 2 pieces and there's a bit of tape there. So it actually sticks onto the phone. What else? We have this, which is the adaptive fast charging brick, and the rating is 5V2A, 9V 1.67A. So this is the standard fast chargers, not the super fast charger you get with the Note 10. Besides that, you've got this box which holds, so this is the USB-C to USB-A cable, which is again in classic black affair, pretty standard stuff. You have a box with a whole bunch of ear tips and wing tips for the Galaxy Buds. If you pick up the Samsung Galaxy Fold, you actually get a pair of black Samsung Galaxy Buds in the box, which is, I think it's pretty nice. But now it's time for the star of the show, the Samsung Galaxy Fold. Imagine how weird would it be if I popped this and there was no phone inside. It wouldn't be weird, it'd be awful. Oh. Unfold the future, meet your Galaxy Fold. You know, it's the thing you find on the website. Galaxy Fold Premier Service, 24-hour concierge, screen replacement and repair, door-to-door delivery. Yummy. And now, the phone. Do not press the screen with a hard shut object. When folding the device, do not place any objects such as coins, keys, or cards on the screen. So if you're thinking of using your Galaxy Fold as your wallet, don't do that. Now to pop the hood. I'm so excited. Oh God. Oh. It's real. I'm gonna fold it. Ah. Oh my God. Oh, ooh, that was easier than I thought. I'm gonna turn it on. Samsung Galaxy Fold secure by Knox. Look, it's on both. Oh my God. It's here. Okay. While I struggle to get over the fact that, you know, it's actually here, let me just talk you through some of the specs, because at the end of the day, this is still a smartphone. So the Samsung Galaxy Fold is still a proper Samsung flagship. That means you'll find basically all the flagship specs that you could want in a device. Inside, it's got a Snapdragon 855 processor that's mated to up to 12 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of internal storage. So obviously, since this is an in-folding smartphone, that means the screen that folds is on the inside. You actually have two displays so that you can use the phone even when it's folded. So while the inside display is a 7.3-inch QXGA Plus display with a resolution of 2152 by 1536, the outside actually has a second screen that is a 4.6-inch display. It's a HD plus resolution, but since the screen's so small, you know, it's like a high PPI display anyway. It looks pretty crisp. It's a Super AMOLED panel with a HD plus resolution. So the inside one is like a dynamic AMOLED panel that Samsung calls the Infinity Flex. That's because, well, I mean, the display folds, right? But it folds with a fatal flaw. As you can see, there is a very notable crease here, like right down the middle. It's very obvious, and if you actually push in a little bit on the display, you can feel it sort of give. They warn you a whole bunch of times when you're setting up this phone and when you're unboxing this phone, do not press really hard on the screen. So if you kanchong, you're playing game, right? You too kanchong, don't press so hard, okay? You press soft. Besides having two screens, this smartphone also goes all out with the cameras. So you get 6 cameras on this phone. You have a main triple camera setup at the back. So you've got a 16 megapixel ultra wide, a 12 megapixel telephoto, and a 12 megapixel wide. So this is a very similar setup to the Galaxy S10 and S10 Plus. You've got OIS on both the telephoto and the wide, but none on the ultra wide. Up front, in this little cutout over here, I don't think you can see it. This is a 10 megapixel selfie camera in case you want to use the camera when the smartphone is folded. So you don't have to unfold it all the time if you want to use it. But if you do unfold it and you want a little bit more oomph with your selfies, there's also a dual camera in this little notch over here. So this dual camera is a 10 megapixel selfie camera and an 8 megapixel RGB depth camera. This is Mr. Zachary pretending to take notes again. We've got the ultra wide. We've got the telephoto. Ooh. So I'm gonna switch to the selfie and take a selfie. Oh dude, okay, so having a screen this big really helps you see every single one of your pimples. And if we close it, and there's another selfie camera here. So you might be wondering, why the fuck would I need a folding smartphone, right? With this Galaxy Fold, you can use the smartphone like a normal smartphone. You've got access to your apps. You know, this looks like a standard Samsung home screen, only thing a little bit small because there are only 3 apps instead of like 5 or 6. So the idea here is that if you were to launch an app, so let's say if I launch Chrome, right, go to Soyaj. Oh, the screen is so tiny, it's so hard to type on. So you can see that, you know, you're using it like a normal phone, right? But with like huge bezels on the top and bottom. The idea is that if you open it, it will continue on the bigger screen. So this is the main thing with this smartphone, right? The ability to be like, oh, I'm doing some random shit on my phone, and then boom, big screen experience. Stuff are much bigger, and when you scroll on it, you know, it's a very different kind of experience. But here's the thing, with the Galaxy Fold, right? When you're done with it, you're supposed to just like fold it, boop, and it's done. The screen locks, everything closes, you put it in your pocket in your GTFO. However, one thing that I did notice is that, like, let's say if I'm in big mode and then like, oh, it's my station, I'm on the train again lah, because you know I spent all my money on the Fold, I cannot buy a car anymore. But I'm on the train again, right? And then it's like, oh, it's my station, I gotta go. Let me just continue this on a small screen. And it's like, it's locked. What do you do? Well, actually, there is a setting. So by default, it's designed to close everything or lock your phone when you close it, which is intuitive, like it's like you're closing a book, you know, that kind of vibe. But if you do want to continue, there is actually a setting here. It's called Continue Apps on Front Screen. So you tap there, you can individually select which app you want to continue running when you close the smartphone. But you know what I would have liked? I would have liked like a button that just says all apps, just everything. So this is where the Galaxy Fold like really differs from the Huawei Mate X, because on the Huawei Mate X, whenever you closed it, it would just continue on as a regular smartphone, and I thought that was really cool, and I still think that's really cool, because that way you can use your smartphone in a way that doesn't change your habit. So you're still using the foldable phone as, you can use the foldable phone as a normal phone. It still has a beautiful sort of 6.7-inch display. But then on that rare occasion where you actually want a bit more screen real estate, you can just pop it open and you have a bigger screen. This doesn't quite have that. This has a different sort of approach, because this is not what your regular phone looks like. This is a 4.6-inch display. It's even smaller than the 4.7-inch screen that you find on like an iPhone 8. It's tiny and it's skinny, and that means that when you're using the smartphone, you need to change your mindset a little bit, because you can't just go on, you know, you can't use your this tiny display every day. I mean, come on, it's 2019. You have to use this more often. So that means a lot more folding and unfolding. Some of you might be wondering, you know, how reliable is this hinge? Well, Samsung says that they've tested it to up to 200,000 times, so it should last that long with just 200,000 folds and unfolds. But the first batch of Galaxy Folds, right, they had the problem where dust was getting into like the little crevices between the hinge mechanism. It was like breaking the screen and stuff like that. So here they had to come up with like a band-aid solution. So what they did honestly looks a lot like a band-aid solution. They added these like little tabs at the top of the screen. So it's like a little T-shaped tab that is designed to like smoosh the display a bit and just block out as much of the gap as possible, so that dust doesn't accidentally get in and just completely mess up your whole screen. Another thing that they did was to address the issue of people accidentally peeling off the top layer thinking that it's a screen protector. So now the top layer extends all the way under the bezels so that you can, well, literally no longer do that. I do not see a gap in which I can peel, which, you know, kind of makes me feel like they should have done that earlier. They, like, come on. Hello? In addition to all those specs, and despite the cool folding mechanism, it still needs to be a smartphone. So obviously it has smartphone quality of life features like a fingerprint scanner. So it's not in the display, it's not using your face, it's not at the back, it's actually at the side, very a la Sony, or I guess Galaxy S10e, where it's just mounted right there. But I guess that makes sense, because like if you want to unfold your phone, right, it's like that, right, and then you want to unfold it, your fingers naturally rest where the fingerprint scanner is, just boop, and you're in. Besides that, there's also a pair of stereo speakers. Yeah, the speakers sound really good, I have to say. They're really nice and loud. There's like nice separation again. Hey guys, it's Rory with searchincharge.com. Yeah, it sounds solid, like a proper pair of speakers. But the problem is, right, like if I hold it like this, it's very easily blocked because they're at the bottom half of the screen. I would have liked them to be at the top instead. You have to hold it like this, I guess. Kind of weird. So let's say you're watching a full screen video, right? On a typical notched phone, you have the ability to watch the video in like a smaller version so that it doesn't sort of let the notch eat into the video. On this, you don't have that option. You can't pinch out. You're just stuck like this. So the video gets eaten up by this really gigantic notch at the top, and it's just eating up that top corner. As you can see, the box there is being eaten up. So if we were to play it, I don't know, man. This is not really a very nice experience. But I mean, you also have the option to watch on the smaller screen. This is what it looks like. and okay, you can finish the film. It's cute. It's cute. And if you open it up, it continues playing also. That's pretty sick. I like that. I like that. I definitely like that. I didn't expect it to be this smooth or this sort of animation free, but it is. It's really cool. Okay, remember how I was talking about multitasking? Let's say we're on Search and then you want to pull in YouTube. Let's say you want to watch a video while you're browsing Search. You want to watch like a Search video. So you pull from the side and you get access to, this is sort of like the edge panel, and then from here you can actually just drag whatever app you want in and then it will pull it in. So here you have the option to have PIP, to have it full screen, or to have to just like close it. So if I want to have like a floating window, a floating bar, I can, you know, and then you can add another app like the gallery. But of course, this isn't like a laptop. The idea here is that you can use like all this multitasking to sort of make it more productive. So as much as I am excited about this smartphone and as much as I think a lot of what they did here is really cool, I have to start questioning it a little bit because I don't know if this is the best way to do a folding smartphone. So with the Mate X, right, it's like using a smartphone with the ability to double your screen size immediately without sort of affecting anything, because it's one panel that folds outwards and then you're using it like a normal phone and suddenly you're like, you know, I need a bit more space, open it up, and there you have it. It's the same screen, right? It's the exact same experience, only thing maybe doubled or three-quartered it. With the Galaxy Fold, it's not like that. You're actually using a device with effectively two screens, one on the outside and one on the inside. Although yes, the software is smoother than I thought, I have to say. Props there, Samsung. It's a lot more seamless than I actually thought that it was going to be. The fact does remain that, you know, these are not the same screens. That is a 720p screen, this is a QXGA screen. And then with an infolding display, you know, you're never gonna get a flush, completely flat fold. You see, on the Mate X, you could get that perfectly flat fold because it folds outwards. So the screen doesn't actually need to like flatten. On this one, you can't. So no matter how much they've engineered this, when you close it, there's still like that little gap over there. Okay, it's almost like, I don't know, like a smartphone thigh gap. You can actually sort of like see through it. I can see through it. Look, that's you. Hi. And that to me is, not only is it not that aesthetically pleasing, it's also like a bit of a hazard to the screen. That being said, to a certain extent, an in-folding screen is a lot easier to keep safe because the screen is folded in on itself, so it's sort of protecting itself. This piece, this is glass. This is not. So on the Mate X, you don't have that luxury because the screen folds out. So the front of your phone is also the back of your phone. So if you put it down on the table, it's a lot more vulnerable. This one, you'll never have that problem because it's shut, and that is a very nice sort of clicking mechanism. And despite everything that I've said about, you know, how it doesn't fold flat, this phone is just really well built. It's definitely as well built. It feels as well built as the Mate X. It's solid, the hinge is really sort of satisfying and very confidence inspiring. Like, I don't have to baby it, I can just shut it like I would any normal device, like a laptop or whatever, right? But those are my thoughts, you know. Let me know what you think of the Galaxy Fold in the comments below. So I will be doing a review of this, probably. And I'd love to hear your questions, comments, whatever it is that you want to know about this smartphone. Just let me know in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer it in a full review. Right now, we don't actually know the price of the smartphone just yet. On Mobile To Go, it is priced at 13,888 ringgit, and you can definitely pick that up over there if you want to be the first one or one of the first people to own it in Malaysia. But Samsung Malaysia is also having the pre-orders for their device coming sometime this month, so we'll look forward to that too. Once again, thank you Mobile To Go for letting us check out the Samsung Galaxy Fold early. It's sold out everywhere, so it's really amazing that they've actually sent us a unit to check out. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video because I definitely enjoyed making it. If you want to follow us and see more videos on what we can do, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, click on the notification bell icon so you don't miss any of our future updates. You can also like us on Facebook or keep your browser locked to searchinsha.com for everything that matters in tech. In the meantime, if you want to check out our latest video, that is over here. And if you want to check out a really cool video, that's over here. Alright, I'm Rory, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!